Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the business edition of the weekly news roundup. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch the show live, interact directly, read the comments as we go, and just have a grand old time. Before we dive on in, I want to highlight my affiliate today of A2 Hosting. If you are in need of a web hosting company, I'm using A2 for my websites and all of my clients' websites. I really like their services. Starting as low as $3 a month. And you can actually get VPSs for like $5 a month. These are the VPSs that have nothing more than, hey, $5 a month, blank operating system, have fun with it. So if you're looking for something pretty cheap, that's actually pretty good. I'm actually using a more expensive VPS that has cPanels and things like that for my clients and stuff like that. I really love their services. You can have a look at them, tlm.li/A2H. So let's go ahead and get on with the news. First, an update from last time. The temporary national emergency library to close 2 weeks early, returning to traditionally controlled digital lending. So the Internet Archive has reverted back and they've closed down their service after lawsuits from several major publishing companies. Now the question is, are the publishing companies going to drop suit, or are they going to go ahead and say, you know what, you did something bad, we're going to continue to push. And I haven't heard any statement from the publishing companies one way or the other. But as of now, they were originally going to keep this digital lending open until the end of June, but they're closing it down now on Monday because of the lawsuits and things like that. And really, this was a scummy thing for the Internet Archive to do, and hopefully this is enough to appease them. But there is now some theory going around that says if the publishing companies drop their suit now, then their current method, which does technically still violate copyright, is kind of going to be put into the record as sort of allowed. So it's questionable that the publishing companies might go ahead and work out some type of deal to drop the lawsuits regarding this. But it's still an interesting thing. The Internet Archive is not out of the water yet, but I'll be interested to see what is going to go on. So I just want to give that brief update that we're kind of transitional. We don't know all of the details yet, but nevertheless, we'll keep you up to date as I hear about it, as I also cover this on my writing channel. Apple will now reportedly offer monthly payment plans for iPads and Macs on your Apple Card. So if you need an overpriced, expensive computer and you still can't afford it, because who can afford that much money, now you can put it on your card. Now, this is, you might say, well, they already did this last year. No, this is something new. Last year, they were allowing you to put the whole purchase on your card, and you had a 24-month interest free period to pay that back. So you'd put it all on your balance, and then you would have 24 months. I think many people possibly realize, maybe Apple's like, well, you know what? People filled up their card and we're not getting as much money on this. Because realize this, that Apple and Goldman Sachs are all getting money at every little swipe you do. Every little swipe you do. And if thousands of dollars is sitting on your credit card not being used or available to be used, they're losing out on some money. So this is a new payment plan, that it's a payment plan that's going to auto bill to your card. So they're going to take whatever the price is, and then every month they're just going to put just the amount on here. Now there's no interest-free period on that balance. So, you know, it's definitely a different mechanic, but it makes sure that the card does retain its available balance as well. So it's kind of a win-win for Apple and Goldman Sachs here, and for Apple to just sit back and go, oh yeah, so it's basically like leasing your Mac effectively, only presumably at the end of it, you get to keep it rather than a car lease where you'd have to give it back at the end of the payment terms. But, you know, whatever that happens to be with. The Cox Internet company is up, you know, doing more scammy net neutrality stuff. Guys, this is just the beginning. Last week, where we saw HBO not counting towards AT&T's data cap, but Netflix and other services were, that is kind of the start of the snowball. Now it's rolling downhill. So now Cox warns customers to lower the usage, imposes a 10 megabit per second upload limit on the gigabit plan, which previously did not have an upload limit. They basically went over, and there was a neighborhood network that was being it was being inundated with traffic, mostly because this guy worked from home, but he was well within any limitations that they sold him with the package. But they come to him and say, hey, if you don't lower your data usage, we're going to cancel your service. All because his collective neighborhood was basically using too much. They simply targeted the guy that seemed to be using more than others and just basically threatened him to cut back his account or risk getting closed down. So yes, this is the type of stuff that is now allowable because net neutrality has died. So all you guys like, oh, they didn't change anything. Yes, people, it changed. It's just stop living in a microwave culture where you're waiting for things to happen in an instant. As soon as a law passes, immediately everything's changed. No, that's not how laws work. Laws work very slowly. Something gets signed into law, it's never really applies for a while anyway. A couple years ago, net neutrality dies. Now we're seeing the results of it. This is a problematic thing. So yeah, we're starting to see some issues coming out of the pipeline here. All right, next, Signal can now transfer your chat history to a new phone. I think that this is the most useless service ever. So here's why. You have your Signal on your account. Now, first and foremost, Android, although it was complicated, you could always transfer your Android. This is iOS. So now how many people are on iOS? And then how many people on iOS are not normies that would actually be using Signal instead of using Apple's built-in chat? Well, now we've narrowed our pool down to, what, 6 people in the world probably? Maybe 8? I don't know. And then what happens is now you need to transfer your device, which means you have to have possession of both the old device and the new device. How many Apple people keep their old device with the new device? No, you trade these up because they want you on this lease model. And you're not going to be going into the store and transferring this. This is not something that goes to the internet. It's not something that goes to Signal servers. It has to be transferred on a local area network. Well, you maybe could transfer it on a local area network at your local Verizon store or whatever as you're buying the new phone. But I highly doubt that's going to be the case. So I think that the use case scenario for this is microscopically small. But hey, at least if you're keeping your old phone and you're having your new phone and you're using iPhone and you're actually using Signal on iPhone and you're not trading up your phone, for you 2 users left that use Signal, you can transfer your contacts. Am I wrong on this? Are there a lot of Apple users actually using Signal that this is actually a use case scenario? Hey, at least it's an option to do it. I'll give credit where credit's due. I just don't see this as actually having a really good use case scenario. Let me know what you guys think. Am I off the rocker here or am I right about this? No use case scenario. EU is going to be dipping into Amazon's pockets again. So they want to file antitrust charges against Amazon again. Now, in this case, this is where Amazon was actually abusing third-party seller data. So third-party seller, they got their amazing new widget. Behold, take my amazing new widget. And then Amazon's like analyzing all this, going to say, hey, this guy's amazing new widget is selling like hotcakes. Let's buy ourselves one of those, analyze their customers, analyze their sale points, analyze their product, send the thing over, get a cheaper version of it made, and mass sell it. So Amazon was really doing this in order to get out there and really just start using the third-party seller data to basically profit off themselves, which would be a clear case of antitrust. So the EU is reaching into Amazon's pockets again, filing an antitrust lawsuit. Hey, this one I can see a little bit more justified than some of the other things we've seen recently, but you know. All right, there is an exploit code for a warmable flaw on unpatched Windows devices. This is really, it's just a concept, but the security researchers looking at it actually said that it causes a blue screen of death far more than it actually works. So I'm not really sure if it's necessarily a bad thing to worry about. Mitigation, you can disable SMB compression, or you can block port 445. So a couple ways around this if you, if for whatever reason you can't patch your Windows system, whatever else. Now I know several of you guys have been asking, what could Windows have possibly done to be any more annoying? Well, now we are going to start getting full screen nags on Windows 10 to annoy you into logging into your Microsoft account. So if you're one of these people who have to use Windows, you're like, okay, I got to use it. I'm going to do it as privately as I can, and you're not tying a Microsoft account in, well, you're going to start getting this wonderful screen here. So get even more out of Windows. The services are empowered by your Microsoft account. Let's set them up the way you like them. Okay, fine. Let's set them up the way I like them. Turn all off. That's the way I like them. Set up Windows Hello so we can spy on your face and use facial recognition. Link your PC and your phone so we can track everything that you do on multiple devices and all your location history, even when you have to be away from your PC. Do more across devices, because apparently this is a thing where I'm like on my laptop and I have to sit right back down to this computer and go people. If you do not have the 35 seconds it's going to do to transfer what you're doing from one over to the other system, you need to reevaluate the time that you're spending on things, okay? Really, truly. Get Office 365 ready, woohoo, and protect your files with OneDrive, aka send all your files to our servers so we can see what you got on your computer. And if you got any bad files, we're going to go out there and proactively delete them, because yeah. So Windows is going to get infinitely more annoying, people. It's going to be a pop-up feature added last year, which causes a prompt to appear when Windows users sign in occasionally. Thank you. There's a way to turn off the welcome window message to stop the screens from appearing randomly and after updates. Oh God, they're going to reset the settings after every update, people. Switch to Linux, people. Linux doesn't do this crap. Well, it depends on your operating system, I guess. But anyway, every time you update the system or to stop them, you can simply open the settings menu using the cog symbol. You can click on system, open the notifications and actions. Now just simply uncheck the box that reads, show me the Windows welcome experience. What is this with experience? It's the Windows welcome experience. The only thing I'm experiencing is so much mad frustration that it makes me want to go and burn my computer down. For crying out loud, people. For the love, what's going on? So yeah, the Windows experience after updates, and occasionally when I say, is it really called that? My God, it is. Look at this. Show me Windows welcome experience after updates, and occasionally when I sign in to highlight what's new and suggested. You guys, you may as well have suggested several species of several species of false furry creatures gathered together in a cave and gripping with a pict. Come on, for the love, people. For the love. Yes, this is... I'm gonna uncheck this guy. Several species of small furry... Several species of small furry creatures gathered together in a cave and grooving with a pict. All right, guys, that is a reference to a Pink Floyd song, if you are unaware, from Umaguma. And holy crap, that is a 3 lines for the title, Microsoft. What are you doing? They've lost their ever-loving mind. Guys, it's causing me to lose my ever-loving mind, and I don't even use Windows 10. What is this nonsense? Well, let me know, guys, your thoughts on this story and the other stories in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. And you can have a look at supporting the channel at switchedtolinux.com/support. Thanks for coming on, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.